Hey everyone, welcome back. This is the third video in my series where I continue my quest to improve the success of volleyball. In the first two videos, I asked the big question: why isn't volleyball as successful as other major sports like basketball and football? I identified a key structural flaw that is contributing to the deficit, namely the single point per play scoring system. Then I introduced the simple scoring differential system, or SSD system, and the complex differential scoring system, or the CDS system for short, to improve the current volleyball scoring system. I made it clear previously that I prefer the CDS system over the SSD system. So now I want to begin clarifying specific details for the CDS system. Each clarification will get its own video. Okay, let's get to the first major question of the CDS system. How do we deal with attack errors? Or to be more precise, attack hits that go out of bounds without touching any opponent. According to the FIVB Official Volleyball Rules Book, Rule 13.3.2, an attack hit out of bounds is classified as a fault. But should an attack hit out of bounds really be classified as a fault? Let's really take a moment to think about this. We have traditionally referred to attack hits out of bounds as hitting errors. But when you really think about it, no actual rule is violated, which is the main characteristic of committing an error. The rules just declare it's an error or a fault, when really it's just the ball landing out of bounds with the attacking team being the last to touch the ball. No rule actually is violated, like say, for instance, when a player touches the net, because the rules explicitly state, "Thou shalt not touch the net." So why does the rulebook refer to attack hits out of bounds as faults? I suspect it's just because we've always colloquially called them hitting errors. And when the word error is translated into the formal language of rules, it becomes faults. Furthermore, under the current single point per play scoring system, it doesn't really matter what we call them, since in the end, the opponent gets a single point regardless. Call it a fault, call it a hitting error, or a hit out of bounds. Doesn't really matter, same practical result. But in the CDS system, it does matter. In the CDS system, a fault means the opponent gets 3 points, while a ball that lands out of bounds could be worth 1 or 2 points, depending on how it got there. So now we need to clarify whether an attack hit out of bounds counts as a fault or just a regular play where the ball lands out of bounds. Let's break down two options for the CDS system. The first option is the simple one. Just declare it's a fault, the same way it's declared a fault in the current rulebook, and thus the opponent gets 3 points. Done. Don't need to really add or even change anything either, because in the CDS system, faults are already covered by rule number 3. But again, I'm not thrilled about calling something a fault when there's no actual rule violated, but it is simple and it works. The second option is a little more complicated. As I pointed out earlier, we start by recognizing that an attack hit out of bounds is just a ball that landed out of bounds with the attacking team as the last to have touched the ball. This allows us to create a more complex differential penalty system that can also be normalized to the ultimate goal of killing the ball to the court of the opponent, just like with attack hits, but sort of the inverse, where the farther away the ball lands from the opponent's court, the more points are awarded to the opponent. Here's what I propose. Rule number 6. 2 points to the opponent of the attacking team for an attack hit that crosses the net and then lands out of bounds on the opponent's side without contacting any opponent. Rule number 7. 3 points to the opponent of the attacking team for an attack hit that fails to cross the net without contacting any opponent, like an attack hit into the net that does not cross, or an attack hit into the antenna. I believe this makes the most sense, since an attack hit that fails to cross the net is the farthest possible outcome from the ultimate goal of killing the ball to the opponent's court. Now, If you think that 2 points for an attack hit out of bounds is too harsh a punishment, we could lower it to 1 point. The CDS system allows for some flexibility if, over time, the values I have chosen right now turn out to not be optimal. I believe the addition of the complex differential penalty system to the CDS system would add more excitement, but in an inverse way as compared to the attack hit rules, and allows us to further distinguish players based on how serious their hitting errors are when they miss. So which option do I prefer? As much as I like the simplicity of making all attack hits out of bounds faults, and that my gut tells me hitting a ball out of bounds should always be considered a fault, I think the additional rules of the complex differential penalty system are a better system since they add more complexity and allow players to better distinguish themselves. Also, I know what is coming in the next video, which will tie in more with the additional complex differential penalty rules. But now I want to know what you think. Which option do you prefer? Do you think we should keep it simple and call all attack hits out of bounds faults? Or do you like the complex differential penalty system concept? Or do you have an idea of your own for handling attack hits out of bounds? Do you think that 2 points for an attack hit out of bounds is too harsh? I would love to hear your thoughts and ideas. In the next video, we will tackle the complex definition of an attack hit in the CDS system. Lastly, I'd like to thank my wonderful family for their love and support. Take care, everyone.